So many of you have reached out and asked if there's any way that you can help with I'm so grateful for that. That I happen to be Israeli, Jewish. A lot of you aren't. And maybe I'm the only Israeli you know, or one of some Israelis that you know. And from the bottom of my heart, it means so much to me when you reach out and you show your love and you show your support and you say that you're with me, that you say that you're with us, and then you ask, what can you do? I might lose some friends over this. You might not appreciate this, but I'm going to say what all of us in Israel are feeling. What can you do is definitely reach out to support us like you're doing, but be vocal. Speak out publicly. That's what you can really do. All too often, this type of terrible thing called terrorism happens, and it happens in Israel all the time. This was catastrophic, with hundreds dead, with dozens kidnapped, with rockets flying in everywhere. We have friends of friends who have been killed, who are missing, kidnapped people, over 1,000 people injured. This is quite literally the most catastrophic thing that has ever happened in Israel, short of the Yom Kippur War. But it's not that we want you to talk about. We want you to talk about who it is that we're facing and what it is that we're fighting. We are not fighting Palestinians. We're not fighting Muslims. We are fighting zealots, fanatical Islamic jihadists that have been butchering, slaughtering, shooting men, women, and children. They crossed into our borders in trucks and motorcycles with machine guns, and they massacred people. You can look the footage up if you want to, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitter, X, what you can look it up. You can see the graphic images, which I'm not looking at anymore. If you want to know what you can do, is speak up publicly and say that you stand with Israel, because I'll tell you what's going to happen. What's going to happen is Israel is going to retaliate like any other country would. But then the Arab Islamic fundamentalist propaganda machine goes to work, and it'll show dead babies. It'll show blood and gut spilled. And the whole world will look at us and say, it's Israel again. And that's the time to speak up. Do not fall for it. Do not fall for the propaganda. If you could do one thing, it's to say that you stand with Israel and not buy into the bullshit. You have to watch out for the propaganda. You have to speak up against it, and you have to not fall for it. If there's one thing that I could ask, to speak up, to take the chance of being unpopular. And it's not against Muslims. It's against radical Islamic Muslim fundamentalists, jihadists, ISIS, Boko Haram, Hamas, Hezbollah. These are the people that we are fighting. And they have hijacked their own people and absolutely brainwashed them to do the things that they do. And the world doesn't say enough. I'm sorry if you feel offended by what I've said. I'm sorry if you think that I'm overstepping right now. But I don't care. We were slaughtered, and we'll come back. But we need you with us. I'm just an ordinary guy, family guy, who lives in Tel Aviv, who's trying to get back home to his wife and his children. There are people who have been massacred, who were just living at home, at a party, at the supermarket, and they crossed over our borders and they butchered people in Israel. Speak up publicly. Write something. I know that I speak for a lot of people in Israel, and indeed the Jewish global nation, when I say please be vocal. Have the courage to stand up and take some heat, because this is the truth. And it's not a fun truth, because there's a whole other side of people who say, well, there's a flip side, and there is a flip side. But a lot of that flip side is propaganda that they've been fed. Fight it. Fight with us. Thank you.